Welcome to Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. This podcast delivers insights on what makes businesses, teams, and people successful based on real-life business experiences. Following a career with America's largest associations, JP Murray founded the Murray Company, one of Washington, D.C.'s most successful consulting firms. The company was acquired successfully and enabled him to launch JP Murray Racing, a business development and sponsorship agency for auto racing teams. Here is JP.
Hello there, friends. My goal in the Push to Pass podcast, and frankly the Association Hustle podcast of a bygone era, probably a couple hundred episodes out there on the internet that you can find. The goal has been to tell you about the true experiences, entrepreneurship, leadership, management, things that I've gone through and those experiences. I'm trying to be transparent about the journey. And one thing I think you're going to run into is when you're different or trying to be extraordinary, there's going to be a gravitational pull that's going to bring you back to normal. If you want to lead an entrepreneurial effort, start a business, be number one in the market, many circumstances you face will not be reinforcing you to keep moving forward. Actually, it's quite the opposite. Many things will be pulling you back to the pack. Things like financial risk. Some friends are going to raise their eyebrows. You're going to have advisors maybe recommending you not to move forward. Business norms and rules encourage the standard. Contract terms, payment plans. Man, folks don't want to pay the entrepreneur first, believe me. Normal and ordinary have bias and legacy advantage, since this is kind of scaled over and over on a daily basis. The system, if you will, is not set up for the lone wolf, the entrepreneur, the startup. These things are going to pull you back into the pack. That pull is strong. And the rewards for normal and ordinary are frankly comfortable. Regular salary benefits, 401k match. The result is a professional life and a career kind of like everybody else, but that is super okay. And I don't resent that. There's about 90% of the people that are playing that game, and so it can't be all bad. But some of you may want to break outside of that pull. Do things on your own terms. Follow your passion, things that you're super interested in, and you want to try it. But there are no guarantees that you'll get paid, that your effort is sustainable, and that family and friends will understand what you want to accomplish. But something else is possible too. You might flourish and never go back to the way the old job used to be and the way most people kind of continue their careers. My wife kind of calls this the thrill of the chase. For me. And it's a problem. It's a problem or something that I've always been chasing something. Not necessarily a problem. It's just a characteristic or quality that I get energy from. And that's exciting and fulfilling and sometimes enables dreams to become real. But let's say you're able to break away from the gravitational pull. There are other sets of obstacles that come forward, because self-made business is often glamorized and adored on social media. Very few talk about the additional items that you're going to face. And I want to put those out to you today. Doubt. At some point in the journey, you're going to ask the question, is it worth it? And that's your call, not someone else's. Or circumstances may force you to make the decision of, is it worth it or not? And whether you keep going forward. Number 2 is isolation. Few people understand what you're going through because they don't do it that way. Also, when you're kind of getting started and you may be by yourself, there's no one really to talk to out there. Number 3, you're going to have maybe some disagreement from people you respect and love, because even your staff, when you start to build it, has a different view than you do as the leader, the person that took the risk. There could be disagreement with decisions that you make. You're going to have to live with that. And number 4, there's going to be small problems that are outsized because you have less infrastructure, fewer clients, less people that you're working with. So little bitty issues like a computer problem become larger than they really should be, or that they are at a scaled business. These small problems can actually paralyze you from making good decisions and moving forward. Number 5, you're going to say, when do I stop trying? Because the road is a difficult one. It's not the easy path. But before you stop trying, I also want you to reflect on something as these factors come at you. You've got an inner voice, is my guess. One that says, I know this. I have to go a bit further. You had something at a very young age when you opened the lemonade stand or put on a show and had some bits and charged your neighbors money to come see it, pulling you toward that type of life. And if you try this journey, I bet there's something else that won't happen. You will not have regret from making the attempt. Anything in life isn't all glory, and it's very hard, even normal. Life is messy for all of us. So in my view, you might as well swing for the fence at least once, because I believe you will not regret trying your own endeavor that is tugging at you. If this pull is in you, give it a run, because the appetite and drive will never stop. The thrill of the chase will always be there, and it will always be in your head. And let me tell you this other thing. I'm always going to be there for you and hopefully providing you some content to help in the journey. My best wishes to you. Hey, friends, I hope you'll share this podcast with a friend. And I can't wait to speak with you next week on the Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray.
Thank you for listening to the Push to Pass podcast with JP Murray, a discussion about business, racing, sports, and life. If you would like to sponsor Push to Pass, send an email to jp@jpmurray.com. Follow JP on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and YouTube. His website is jpmurray.com. Until next time, push yourself to pass the competition. Thanks for listening.